Good morning and welcome to beautiful Pickett, Wisconsin on this 30th day of September. The weather is absolutely perfect. We have had the most beautiful late summer in September, and hopefully going into October will be just as nice that I've ever seen in the 2 years I've been here. But anyway, it's beautiful out. It's probably 69, 70 degrees, very low winds, and it's a wonderful day to run a engine that I've never featured on this channel before, which is an Irvine Q72 engine. A subscriber friend, Don, sent this engine to me a week or so ago and asked if I wanted to feature this on the channel. I was like, hell yes. Just did an Irvine 40 Mark II, I believe it was a Mark II. And I'm always interested in doing engines that I have never seen or run before on this channel. And this seems to be a very rare engine. The Q72 is one that's very hard to find any information on. So the parameters for today's test run, first time I've ever run it, this is an ABC engine. I've read in the little that I've found that this engine likes larger props, lower RPM. That's where it makes its most power, kind of like a 4-stroke. So I've got a Master Airscrew 13.6 here. But in the toolbox, I've also got a brand new APC 13.7. So we'll probably be running both of those. The plug that was in this looked like a long 4-stroke plug. And I don't know, since there's no real information on this, that just doesn't seem appropriate for a 2-stroke ABC. So I put an OS number 8 plug in here. And I've got a pretty nice sized tank full of 5% fuel here. So we're going to run that. I also have some 10% cool power if I run this out and decide I want to do another run. Otherwise, we'll probably try and split this run between two different props, the 13.6 and 13.7. I've got smaller props, but from the little I know about this engine, it really just doesn't care for those. This thing's got super good compression, so let's just run it. Okay, so before I turned the camera on, I was doing some testing of the draw of the fuel, and it may be over primed, so I'm going to try and hand start this thing. I don't have a problem. I think it'll hand start easily. I know I don't have the prop oriented properly for this. I think this thing will hand start though. I'm not going to do this too long though. In fact, I just finished. We're going to go ahead and fire it up here. You know what? This thing doesn't have a throttle stop screw, so without this throttle stop screw, there's no way for me to know exactly. And the throttle on this stand is very loosey-goosey, so a little tough to find that sweet spot here. I bet you this thing will hand start now, though. I think the reason it didn't hand start was before is because I accidentally had the throttle completely closed. And if I can find that sweet spot here. Okay, the hell with that. I'm gonna change props on here now. Okay, so now I've put a brand new APC 13.7 prop on here. Didn't change any settings at all. All I did was change props, and let's fire it up and see how she likes this prop. all I can say about this engine is, wow, this engine kicks ass. This is a surprise. First of all, there's only like 2 videos on YouTube for this Q72 engine running, and they're both kind of poor and old. But it says, in what literature I found, it says it has like a silent muffler. This thing is anything but silent with this exhaust. I don't know if this is a stock exhaust. It looked like it from any images I saw, but it's not exactly silent by any means. So I don't know about that claim, but this thing kicks ass. I mean, luckily, the low-speed mixture needle is set perfectly, and I didn't have to mess with that whatsoever. This engine just really rocks. I mean, since it's not mine, I was a little hesitant to continue to lean it out, so I was going pretty low, 1-2 clicks at a time at those last few lean outs on both props, because it's not my engine and it's rare. So I didn't want to do anything to potentially damage it. Now, when Don bought this engine, he said, according to the eBay seller that he got it from, the eBay seller said something maybe to the effect of like new or lightly run. I don't know how much of that I can believe, because I don't know. I didn't take the head off and look at the top of the piston, because I wasn't, when I did the quick look video, I was like, oh, there's no real point in doing that. But I do think there is a point in at least taking the head off and looking at the top of the piston to see if we can determine at least how much runtime it's got on it, because the exhaust has some markings on here that make it look like it's had some runtime more than just like a couple of, you know, break-in runs. And the color of the head, I don't understand if it was always just this kind of a pale gold or not, but what I've seen in other colored or anodized head engines, especially the Tower Hobbies 61s and 46 Pros that had those nice beautiful purple heads, whenever you'd see those listed on eBay and that head was really faded, that engine had a lot of runtime on it, because it took a lot of heat and a lot of runtime before those heads would start to fade. So I don't know what the stock out of the box color of this head was, if it was a darker gold or if it was just this pale gold looking, or if it was red for that matter. I have no idea. So I'm only kind of going by that and the way it feels and runs. I mean, it feels like, well, it feels like a kick-ass engine, first of all, but I mean, it's got great compression, and this carb seems to function very well. I mean, the thing has just got instantaneous transition. This is just a really nice engine. So Don, thank you very much for allowing me to run this and feature this on the channel. I'm not sure if I'm going to do any more runs with it. It might be interesting to put that Cool Power 10% on here, not touch this high-speed needle, and run it with this same prop just to see what another 5% nitro does to it. Maybe we'll do that. We'll see. But anyway, thank you for watching.